Waiting for you to do your thing.
Oh.
He's busy. He's on his phone.
I'm looking at the outline you
This
sent.
is like the jump ball of the podcast. We're waiting for you to... You're warming up right now.
I'm still tucking my shirt in.
You're shaking hands with the other team. Respect. Talking to the ref.
The point of the outline is to look at it before you come, so like not just to pull it up willy-nilly and wing it.
Well, Disney decided to drop the entire world on us, so there's so many that I didn't really look at it and go by topic.
Ted just had a winter beach day.
Honestly, I'm like sunburned right now.
A what?
Sunburned?
No, I know what sunburn is. What's a winter beach day?
I went to the beach today with Hunter.
In the winter?
It's close to the winter, yeah.
December
it's
in
still
my
winter.
book.
Yeah, me too.
My calendar, yeah.
I mean, it snowed the other day, so it's officially winter.
Flurried.
It's still
You
snow.
count that as snow, though?
I'm counting it.
That was God shaking the dandruff. Is that what they say?
Yeah, you should.
It's like, I need some new shampoo. Mary? Is that... I don't know. Didn't he bang Mary?
Mary's his mom.
I don't know the mythos of
Mother Mary?
Mary, it's a paradox, actually.
If Jesus is God, then...
Jesus and
Wait, who are you
Mary
talking
gave
about, God
birth
or
to Jesus
Jesus?
so that God could bang Mary to give birth to Jesus.
Well, who's shaking the dandruff out?
Joseph.
Well, Jesus had the flu.
That is true. Jesus had that, he had the locks, man.
Yeah.
He really did. I think that's why they killed him. It's a bunch of bald Romans. Like, this man has to be the Antichrist. Look at those locks. He's in his mid-30s. He should be dead.
Yeah.
Hello, everybody, and welcome back to another episode of the Nerd Suit Podcast. I am Bo Oliver here, joined today with Aaron and Teddy. How you guys doing? Forgot to mention that you're the Nerd Suit Monkey. Today, you're just Aaron.
I
You
like
that? Yeah.
Yeah.
Little
Gets the
treat
monkey
for you.
off my back.
Yeah, Merry Christmas. That joke just came so close to ending this channel. But it was good enough where I appreciate it. And we are back to talk about the worlds of movies.
Disney?
The world of Disney, yeah. We're here to talk about a lot of Disney shit.
It's Mickey's world, and we're just living in it.
And Robert Eggers just wrapped on The Northman, so we'll talk about that as well. But yeah, no, we got a lot of news yesterday from the Disney Investment Day. And we did a terrible job planning this podcast.
We should have dropped the last one, man. Come on.
It was 20 minutes.
It's good talk, though.
In the middle of that podcast we were recording yesterday, we're like, wait a minute, Disney's about to change the landscape of streaming.
So it was Disney, and then you found out that WandaVision's dropping a trailer, and then there was something else that was dropping.
Well, they dropped everything.
I didn't think people were expecting that many things to drop.
I didn't even know that was fucking happening. I had no idea. And then it's like, oh, Disney Investment Day. Like, what news is going to come? And then early in her day, it's like 10 fucking shows for Marvel and Star Wars and movies. And, oh, my God. It was overwhelming. Gave me anxiety.
Want those investors, huh?
Well, their stock is up $15 today.
That's a huge jump.
Yeah. So
I'm going to do that next investment day. I'm going to invest in Disney, wait for all the shit to drop, and then sell.
4:30 is when the stock market closes, too. Wow, they screwed Robinhood again.
Well, if you have Robinhood Pro, you get to trade until 6.
I don't have that.
Yeah, well.
I don't trade anymore.
Why not?
I went broke doing it.
You didn't have a Disney day?
No, I didn't.
You didn't
I had a bunch of
impress
Disney
the
days. I
shareholders?
lost it all because I wanted to hold it.
Well, I mean, not only did we get that Disney news, but earlier in the week we also got the news about the possibility of Spider-Man 3 exploring the multiverse. And that actually was confirmed by Kevin Feige. But we had no confirmations for all the rumored castings except for Alfred Molina returning as Doc Ock. But it's also rumored that Tobey Maguire and Andrew Garfield and Kirsten Dunst and Emma Stone, don't know why I said them in that order, will also reprise their characters from the previous Spider-Man franchises. So we got that huge Spider-Man news, which could have been a podcast on its own, and then
It was a podcast on its own.
it almost was a podcast
Yeah,
on its
what's
own.
the lead? Is it Spider-Verse? Is it Hayden Christensen coming back? Is it
Well, who's
Black Panther 2?
What's the title right now?
Yeah, who's
I
the
don't know.
clickbait? Disney drops
We
everything.
got fucking
Disney
Game of
Plus
Thrones
announces
news, and
Marvel.
that's last.
Game of Thrones news too, yeah.
It's usually an open.
No, hell no. Actually, Game of Thrones in the title always works well on our channel. That might be the open, but we talk about it last.
We gotta trim this podcast into an hour, though, just so you guys know.
Which
Why?
one?
What
No,
the
I'm
fuck?
kidding. I'm kidding.
Oh, yeah, say, don't come in here making
Jesus.
rules.
Aaron just went Hollywood director on you.
Yeah, he went
Never
Mickey
get a
on me.
chance to dream,
Are you
went
sitting
Mickey
right
on me.
now?
to create.
You're gonna come in here and sit down for the podcast? Fucking prick.
Here, Pepper.
The
Yeah.
Fantastic Four, Christian Bale. It's a
Yeah.
lot of shit to get into.
Not only the biggest, but maybe my favorite is Darth Vader's coming back for the Obi-Wan Kenobi show. Hayden
Interesting.
Christensen's doing it too. Maybe him tracking
Kathleen
Vader, or
Kathleen Kennedy said that it's the rematch of the century, which sounds awesome, but I
wonder who's going to win.
Yeah. I just wonder how they're going to like explain it that makes sense within the canon of Star Wars. And I'm not like the biggest stickler for that kind of shit where if something doesn't completely line up. I mean, George did it himself with the prequels compared to the original trilogy. But I mean, if this is some big massive like showdown and series where he's heavily involved and Obi-Wan is actively tracking him, it just seems like it's something that maybe would have popped up during the original trilogy.
Would you have rather having the show be the Darth Vader show instead of Obi-Wan Kenobi and have him do Darth Vader tracking down Jedi and have Obi-Wan trying to track Vader?
Order 66 would have been, I think, the way to go. That would have been fucking awesome.
When I first saw the news, the headline, Hayden Christensen returning as Darth Vader, that's what I thought it was.
Yeah.
I said, we were just talking about this. This, to me, like you said, I'm not going to be such a stickler for the line. The last time I left you, I was a student, but a learner. Now I'm the master. That line, I guess you just kind of toss it out here. Someone wrote on Twitter that maybe Darth Vader will have kind of a ghost-like presence, where it's not actually Darth Vader. It's the memory of Vader haunting him as he is trying to settle disputes on Tatooine, trying to protect Luke as well. Him kind of having a sort of PTSD from Mustafar. That would be an interesting idea to get into Obi-Wan's head.
Visions, flashbacks, that of the sort, but
I think it's going to be the actual Darth Vader, though.
Well, they say he's back as Darth Vader. Like, he's not back as Anakin Skywalker in a flashback. He's back as Darth Vader, and the only time we see him as Darth Vader against Obi-Wan is on Mustafar, and later on in A New Hope. So you can't really flashback on anything. I guess it's only visions, or he's in the flesh, or
just
what's
stuff that
left
we didn't
of his
see.
flesh.
It could be stuff that we didn't see during like when he was training him, maybe for flashbacks.
Right. Well, we can't get too hung up on it.
Yeah.
I think I'm happy for Hayden Christensen. He took so much shit for Attack of the Clones and Revenge of the Sith, and a lot of people have acknowledged that he's been very good in other films. So he'll get the chance to, not necessarily, I mean, people love Hayden Christensen, man. I was just telling Aaron before the podcast, someone needs to tell George Lucas, the internet loves the prequels now, dude.
Yeah, right.
Everyone loves your fucking movies now, so all the people that grew up with them. But, other news that sticks out here, Fantastic Four being confirmed. No X-Men news, but John Watts, the director of Spider-Man Homecoming and Spider-Man Far From Home, will be directing Fantastic Four, so of course everyone began fan casting. John Krasinski and Emily Blunt.
Oh, that's a good one. I've never heard. That's pretty sick. Did you just come up with that?
In my head right now,
Oh,
yeah.
Sweet.
I already did the Photoshop, actually.
Oh, wow.
No, it's Boss Logic.
It's probably the best one though.
No, it should be Dwayne Wade and
It's
Gabrielle
great.
Union.
Dwayne Wade.
So it has to be a
Dwayne
couple.
Wade has got a big wig span. That's believable.
It has to be a couple.
Can't act.
He's very flexible. D. Wade can't act. He's a great flopper during those Miami years. Are you kidding me?
Um,
I'm trying to think of celebrity couples.
They don't have to be a couple.
Ivanka and Jared. No, they have to be a couple.
Joe Magnanello and Sofia Vergara.
I wouldn't hate that, man. That's a very Fantastic Four. It's a Fantastic Two. I don't know who you're going to get to fill out that cast, but that's exciting. X-Men fans were a little disappointed, but the Fantastic Four, I wonder if this will lead into the X-Men in some way.
It will be like the first introduction of the Fox properties. So I think that's the natural way to go before, and then you gradually try to bring in the X-Men later on. And keep looking at this Marvel. You see any of the trailers? The Loki, WandaVision, Falcon, Winter Soldier. What If looked interesting. WandaVision looks fucking incredible. I still can't wait for that.
What If? I didn't see the WandaVision trailer. I'm already bought in. So
it's more the same.
The What If looks very good. I like that new animation style. Captain Falcon and the Winter Soldier. Strong Winter Soldier vibes. That this is going to be another political thriller.
I wasn't thrilled. I mean, the trailers, but I wasn't like taken aback by either Loki or Falcon and the Winter Soldier.
I thought the Loki trailer was not bad, but
I was lost.
This
in
looks
Loki.
a little cheap.
I was so lost. I had no idea what was going on in that trailer.
No, I don't know what's going on either. And that organization, that prison, goes to the comics. The TVA,
okay.
yeah, that is. I thought Owen Wilson was funny.
I did like that shot of Yeah, Owen Wilson was great. I did like that shot of Falcon in that trailer when he's going through like a canyon and there's explosions going on. It looked pretty like they put a lot of money and effort into that.
Right. No, the Falcon and the Winter Soldier show looked the production value looked way better than the Loki show. The Loki show looked, maybe they bit off more than they can chew. We shall see.
But I think a big story too out of that is Black Panther 2 will focus more on the lore of Wakanda, and they won't recast Chadwick Boseman, which there was a lot of debate. I felt like early on when it happened, everyone was like, absolutely not, you can't do that. And I think as time went on, people realized how important the character of Black Panther is, and maybe they should recast, but Disney decided not to. And I kind of see both sides of that. I think it was such an iconic role, and, you know, on the untimely passing, I think, I don't know if you kind of want to honor his legacy, but at the same time, it is a very important character. But I think you can plug in Shuri, and I think she does become the Black Panther in the comics, so maybe you have to skip over some of the grander stories you had for T'Challa, but I don't know, it's just a tough situation all around. So
yeah, I wonder when they're going to set this movie, if they do set it before Endgame, because then you kind of have the excuse not to have T'Challa there. That who took up the mantle of the Black Panther? It wasn't Shuri, because I think she was snapped as well.
I'm surprised they don't bring back Michael B. Jordan and have him take it over.
He's dead.
I know, you can bring him back. Bring anybody back now.
I think that character shouldn't be the Black Panther after Chadwick Boseman.
You know, he played it well.
He played it well, but he was also trying to take over the world.
He got his redemption. You know,
not really.
Yeah, you know, they had their moment when he went to the top.
stabbed. And then he had a really impactful and profound line.
yeah, I mean, you could sympathize with the
redemption.
character and see where
Yeah.
he's coming from, but
He'll
did
turn over.
He did like pretty much just kill T'Challa and take his.
Yeah, he tried to murder T'Challa.
I'm more of the come up. Ant-Man and the Wasp 3 was confirmed. I was pretty surprised with that one.
Yeah, Quantum Mania, I think
Yeah.
is the subtitle.
I'm surprised with that because
They throw quantum in front of everything, huh? That's how you explain everything when it
I
comes
think
to
that was
sci-fi.
like. I think they were
Yeah.
very self-aware with that, and Ant-Man is a very self-aware.
this guy doing loops.
And the Ant-Man franchise has been, the movies have been self-aware too, but I mean,
Are they money makers though for a third?
not. I mean, they make money, but I mean, 3 Ant-Man and the Wasp is fucking surprising to me, especially when you think of all the movies and all the other characters they have. Ant-Man gets a trilogy.
Mm-hmm. That's how the Feig Man does it. It's working so far, right?
Well, it's crazy because like
They just use those movies to explain things that might happen in a later movie.
yeah, I was
It's
just
a
about to
beau-
say.
It made Ant-Man, so like Endgame kind of made more sense.
Yeah.
Yes. It's a beautiful thing they've got going on with the Ant-Mans. Shout out to Paul Rudd, man. Keep getting those bags.
I love Paul Rudd too, though.
That's the thing. I think they're very delightful movies. I like the first Ant-Man more than most. I think the second one is actually a step up from the first Ant-Man.
Do they
yeah.
need a third? No, but I'm happy. I'm happy about it.
If they got the first two, I mean, their first two are better than Thor, right? I'd put their
Yeah.
first two up against the first two Iron Man. I mean, obviously Iron Man 1 is the better movie, but Iron Man 2 is
Yeah.
kind of a stinker.
We got a lot of like confirmations, like King the Conqueror is going to be the villain, and Haley Steinfeld is going to be in Hawkeye as Kate Bishop, and a couple other castings within the She-Hulks and Mrs. Marvel. Things that
Ironheart,
yeah, those are things we know.
Riri Williams.
The new things are Ironheart, Armor Series,
Right, yeah.
Armor Wars, and Secret Invasion, which
Yeah, the Secret Invasion, that's going to be a show, right? With Samuel L. Jackson
Yeah,
coming back as
and
Nick Fury.
Ben Mendelsohn with
Have
the
some
scrolls.
scroll-on-scroll action.
Armor Wars is supposed to be
Nick Fury got a show.
with
Oh,
Rhodey.
yeah.
And I think they steal Stark Tech and they got to get it back or something.
Oh,
like
that's
that.
interesting. Yeah, I guess Rhodey is still there.
And then Ironheart, I think, is the big one. With it's gonna be Riri Williams, right?
Yes.
And she's gonna. I think the synopsis was like she gets a armor suit more advanced than Stark's or something along those lines.
Okay.
Or like the closest thing to Stark's armor. So yeah.
I guess they do have to. Well, they don't necessarily have to, but if you're going to fill the Iron Man void, that's a good start because it is a comic that is fairly new, and it's about a younger scientist, younger genius who, like we said, she takes on the Iron Man mantle, and with Tony Stark not being there, he can't serve in that kind of mentor role.
Wait, is it
But-
Iron Man's technology, or is it a different like the scientist made his own stuff, or copied off of Iron Man's?
I'm not necessarily sure.
Oh.
Marissa? No, she's not here. Yeah, so I don't know if there's going to be other Marvel characters in this show. Who's kind of going to introduce her to the larger Marvel universe? Because I haven't read that comic, but I've heard good things about it. So.
And then another big casting, Christian Bale, which we knew, but we finally got his character, Gore the God Butcher.
Right. One of your favorites.
A sick-ass name.
Yeah. Can you tell us more about Gore the God Butcher?
Well, his name is Gore.
Right.
And he butchers gods.
I'm not buying that for a second.
Oh, it's true.
He's that formidable?
Mm-hmm.
How does he do it?
Through
Machete?
Power of friendship?
no, well, Gore.
Machete.
Gore. He uses the fear of climate change to defeat his enemies, but then he just doesn't defeat them because.
I think
You
this
don't
is.
want it.
I wonder how goofy they're going to make him because obviously with Taika Waititi and Hela at times was comedic, but for the most part she was a villain, a villainous villain. Christian Bale is someone who has delivered some funny performances in the past, not in movies that are necessarily comedies, but I think he does have
His
comedic-
mannerisms.
Yeah, like in The Big Short, his character in The Big Short, I thought he was. American Hustle is not a movie that I love, but I thought he was very funny in it. I don't know where Thor is going to end up in this movie. You know, what the hell is Thor doing?
Trying not to get butchered.
That's a good point. Because he is going to be in the Guardians of the Galaxy holiday special. You guys saw that?
Yeah, holiday
That's
special.
amazing.
Yeah, that's perfect.
It's so cool
Yeah.
that James Gunn. That's James Gunn is such an ideas guy, and I'm glad that they okayed this. You heard about this?
No.
It's a Guardians of the Galaxy in the vein of the Star Wars Christmas special. They're doing a Guardians of the Galaxy holiday special.
That fits.
It's going to be like a limited series. Yeah, it's going to be perfect.
That's sick.
Yeah.
There's a Groot like little
Not
mini
animated.
series.
Animated or no?
No, live action.
Wow,
All the
that's-
actors coming back.
That's great.
I think there's a Groot mini series coming out too, like very mini,
Yes.
like little snippets, and then
But like I mentioned, Thor is going to be in Guardians 3.
No,
So, or the
Guardians
Guardians are going to be in.
Thor 3.
Okay, that's how he's going to begin.
yes,
in Thor 3.
and
Okay, right.
Guardians 3 was announced too, which I think we knew about.
Right.
I mean,
That's a packed movie, man. Because
There's a-
Lady Sif is coming back as well.
Were there any time frames for like any of this, or is it just like what they have planned?
There were some release dates, but more the Star Wars shows that we really didn't get a chance to talk about are kind of just. Patty
Ahsoka, guys.
Jenkins' Rogue Squadron movie is coming in 2023. Taika Waititi's got an Untitled Star Wars movie, no release date. A droid story focusing on R2-D2 and C-3PO. And I guess they're doing animated series as well.
Yeah, Bad Batch. I assume like more Clone Wars Rebels type animation canon, but maybe a little bit less, more kid friendly.
Right.
Well, it might have a good mix between both of that. Cassian Andor, I couldn't care less about that.
I know, yeah.
And
That's an era that I just don't care about.
Ahsoka, I'm looking forward to, and Rangers of the New Republic is another Mandalorian spinoff that they're going to make.
I was hoping that the Ahsoka one wasn't like a fan art that I fell for, because they dropped all this stuff, so I thought maybe someone was gonna like post some fan art.
Yeah.
Like, I'm happy about that. I want to see that.
Well, I knew that the announcement was, the rumors were that they were going to announce a large expansion of the Star Wars universe. I didn't realize that we were going to get this many announcements for the Star Wars
I think
universe.
no one did.
Yeah. And the Ahsoka series that's going to be one of their bigger hits. She's such a popular character already, and she had such a great first appearance in live action in The Mandalorian this season.
I think
Yeah, Ahsoka and Obi-Wan are going to be the two big series. So, I mean, the rest, they could be good. I mean, I'll give them all a shot. Some interest me more than others, but it's Marvel. I'm not like, we've gotten Marvel news dumps before, where on their Comic-Con or their whatever, like the Feige in front of screen events. We've gotten shit like this before, so we're almost used to it. And it's such an expansive universe with expansive characters and expansive comics. Star Wars is too, but it's very, like, this is more Star Wars than I think we've ever gotten before in terms of series and movies.
The Mandalorian opened it up, man, because there was nothing to go off of really, and that was a chance to introduce new characters and go off of that.
The thing is with Marvel, it's like, even like some of the more unknown heroes, or it's like, oh, they have their own superpowers, their own villains, and interesting stories. This, it's like, do I care about a Ranger of a New Republic? Jim?
Well, it's the
Jim
point
the
that I made
Ranger?
on our spoiler discussion, man. Once you start
Well, I
to
guess you
get
could say
away
that.
from the playground that is Star Wars, you're like, I had the same feelings. Droids. I mean, I love C-3PO and R2-D2. I have toys of theirs that I still keep.
Well, I
from when
guess
I was
if you
a
asked
kid,
me 2
but-
years ago what I care about Din the Mandalorian, I'll probably be like, fuck no. But
the other
no,
point
I love Din the Mandalorian.
is that Star Wars behind the scenes has been a mess. I mean, they lose directors. They've 3 of their, what do they have, 5 live-action movies now? I think 3 of those 5 have lost directors. They've announced shows. They've announced trilogies. Ryan Johnson's trilogy, I guess that's not happening. I saw a lot of fans were disappointed. No announcement there. I mean, in 2023, Rogue Squadron could be directed by Michelle McLaren because Patty Jenkins had some falling out. And the Taika Waititi movie's not coming out either. Star Wars hasn't been running a tight ship. Now, maybe more with the collaboration that they're showing with some of the in-house directors that they've already kind of worked with, having Feige produce a Star Wars movie, it may be more smooth sailing going forward. But they've announced a shit ton, and that necessarily hasn't been the problem for Star Wars. It's not a lack of content; it's the quality of the content.
Yeah.
But I guess spacing these things out makes me a bit more optimistic that they'll have time to really nail these shows. But I don't know. We'll see if we start getting some Star Wars fatigue with the Bad Batch and the Yaddle origin story.
And some other Disney, Pixar news. Moana series announced. What can I say except that's, I'll probably
It's for the
enjoy
kids.
it. Moana's actually a very good movie. I think it's overlooked a lot by you guys.
I love Moana.
I've never
I know
heard you
every
guys
word of
mention
you're
Moana
welcome.
once. That's because you're a big
What
Dwayne
can
The
I
Rock
say?
Johnson
So-
fan.
Yeah, well,
Both things can be true.
Yeah.
I do love the song when she's singing about going into the sea. You've seen this movie a million times. You don't know the words?
I always thought it was like I'm coming home.
I don't know. I'm just bullshitting.
I'm
here.
coming home.
No.
Take me home.
I don't know the words, man.
The Buzz Lightyear origin series. I don't want to be a
That's a
downer because this
throwaway.
is for kids. But once again, Pixar.
I wrote on the outline Buzz Lightyear organ, voiced by
Chris
Chris
Evans.
Evans. What if it was Buzz and his dick was voiced by Chris Evans?
Grow up, man.
I didn't even know Buzz Lightyear had an origin
I'm
story.
Buzz. I didn't know he had a dick either. Well, yeah, wasn't he opened?
Yeah.
No. This
I
is.
mean, the video
once
game
again,
is
you
him
guys
fighting
didn't
Zurg.
read the story. Read the article.
It's a different
It's
Buzz.
not about the toy.
Mm.
It's about Buzz Lightyear. About Mr. Buzz Lightyear.
What
The
he was
video game?
what the toy
Yeah,
was
who
based
he was
off
based on.
The video game.
No.
Fighting Zurg?
No.
Yeah, it was a video game.
No, the video game is based on the toy.
No, it's not.
It is.
The toy is based off the video game.
That may be true, but either way, Buzz Lightyear was a real man.
No, he wasn't.
Yeah, that's what this movie is about.
I think
You
you're
can't
thinking
do
of,
that.
you're
Don't
thinking
do
of
that to
Buzz
Buzz Lightyear,
Aldrin.
man.
No, the premise of this movie, have you looked this up?
No.
It's about the real Buzz Lightyear. It's about what inspired the toy. He's not a toy in this.
No, miss me with that. I'm not watching that.
People have been arguing on Twitter about this all day. So. Yeah, no, it's stupid.
Yeah.
I mean, they really just said, fuck you, Tim Allen.
A car series.
I think they
follow.
wanted to make as much content as they can to make Netflix shit themselves.
Netflix is scoffing at this. Good
You
luck.
think?
Yeah. They could care less. What, this is all going to take...
Originals. All right, originals.
All this shit, it's gonna be 4 years until all this shit is released.
Lightyear, Buzz story. Cars.
Is that what it's called officially?
No. Car series following Lightning McQueen and Mater. Can we stop with Cars?
Doesn't this upset
relax.
you though
Cars
with
is a
Pixar?
great
Doesn't Pixar
series.
really
Cars
upset?
is terrible.
I love
Pixar
Cars.
made their name on unique idea after unique idea in the 90s and early 2000s, and they've just given that up. Coco was good. Inside Out
Disney.
was good as well. I know, it's unfortunate. I think with Pixar, though, it hurts me more because they do have this sort of legendary status where they have, you could make the case they have 4 or 5 masterpieces under their belt, and now they're just...
Monsters Inc.
Well,
Toy Story.
positive news coming out of the Cars. The guy who ate his beans and spilled them in the movie theater, now he doesn't have to worry about getting laughed at. He can just eat his beans in the comfort in his own home while watching Cars.
It's going to be the same guy just behind him.
You know what's crazy though?
How'd you get in my
This
house?
man's eating beans. What the fuck?
You know what's crazy though is that when these companies drop original content, they are good movies. Like
Stop playing with him.
I'm trying to fix it. Like,
That's going to make it worse.
is that better?
Yeah.
You know what's crazy is that when these companies drop originals though, they are great. Like they drop Moana, Frozen. They still have the potential to make great movies. but they just keep tapping back into the 90s.
Disney animation, I think, has been getting.
Yeah.
It's always been great, but I think it's been very, very good recently. Maybe better than Pixar. I don't remember like the last Pixar.
Coco.
Yeah.
Isn't
And
Coco
I
like
think,
critically acclaimed?
what's that
Yeah,
other
Coco
movie?
was great.
What's the other movie? The jazz movie?
All that jazz?
La La Land.
Soul?
Yes.
Onward was good, but it wasn't anything like that
I still haven't seen that.
blew me away. And Soul, I think, is still yet to come out, and I think that one has the potential to be like iconic and just fantastic.
Oh my god.
But
What?
I mean, Raya and the Last Dragon, that's Disney animation. I think that's something I'm looking forward to. Moana was fantastic, and I think a lot of the Disney animation movies are what I'm looking forward to more than Pixar, which, I don't know. I feel like you wouldn't be saying that a few years back.
Yeah, I mean, studios fall off. You can't be great forever. It's just the fact that they're not trying. It's not that they're making original movies and they suck. They're just treading water. Not treading water. Toy Story 4 was
Well, here's
good,
the original Pixar coming out. Luca, a movie set in Italy about a boy named Luca.
I'll take that.
Theaters in June 2021.
I'll take that.
A lot of potential.
Actually, yeah, that sounds very impressionistic. It's going to be all vibes. No narrative.
I'm walking here.
Yeah.
I know.
Well, I mean, he's in Italy. Come on. You have to do it in the language.
Well, I know the first Italian. I know the most Italian, so.
Italian.
Turning Red, about a 13-year-old girl going through puberty that transforms into a giant red panda when she gets excited, is in development.
Kafka-esque.
Like a Wild Thornberry-esque?
Panda, 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 panda.
Don't steal esque. I said it for my thing. You can't Wild Thornberry-esque.
I was going to say yes before you.
And I guess another thing that ties into this is Disney Plus is entertaining the idea to add Hulu, ESPN Plus into one streaming platform,
We
which
get a chance to speak about that.
I think is.
I've been calling for that on this podcast for how long? I mean,
Years.
since it was announced.
Play
Yeah,
the tapes.
since 2012, before we even had the podcast. Sitting on my couch, like, if that Disney ever opens a streaming service, and if they own a majority share in Hulu, they better combine them. This was just a no-brainer since the beginning.
Can they make it one price, though? Like, can we just...
Well, it's probably
get
going to be the
everything?
same price as the bundle. I pay for the bundle right now. I think it's like $13 a month.
I don't even know what I pay for anymore, man. I need to go through my bill.
You need to get that app that reminds you of what you pay for. But the app is $5.99 a month. I'm just kidding. It might not be. But like I said, why not do this from the beginning? You can't just sell your streaming service on family because some people don't have families. That's the cold truth.
Some people
Fast
have
and Furious
kids.
made all
Say
fucking.
that.
They're making 10 movies about family. What are you talking about, guy?
Yeah, but that's a different type of family.
Going to space.
That's family and not family friendly. Actually, I would take the kids to see a nice Fast and Furious movie. You see, Nolan said that he likes Fast and Furious movies.
Of course he does.
He
Who
said
doesn't?
that Tokyo Drift has a special place in his heart. I was like, Nolan, me and you, man, same wavelength. Very underrated.
So I think that was kind of inevitable. And Jesus Christ, fucking Spider-Verse.
Right, yeah. We
Too much
kind of touched on it in the
goddamn news.
beginning.
I like when we don't have news. We can riff. Yeah, you guys listen to Evermore, the new Taylor Swift album? Fucking
No.
fire.
Did you really listen to it?
Yeah, listen to it today.
Because I think you just appropriate the Swift fandom. You're not an actual Swiftie.
Yeah, he doesn't
you
actually
say
listen.
it for clout.
He just knows he has a fan base with him now. So.
Right, yeah. No, it's funny. It's
I'll
kind of
show
a
you
bit.
my Apple Music.
Oh, would you update the playlist just right before you came here?
I listen to that and Cuddy.
Let me
so.
see your recently played.
It's the guy that watches
Okay.
ESPN before he goes to work and then just starts talking about what
Oh,
he
look, it
watched.
pops-
Yeah.
Right up. Oh,
He-
look.
It's like when you say something smart and the person repeats the last couple of words.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like what
Recently
you just
shared
did.
Kid Cudi. Listen to Miley Cyrus. Her new album's actually really good, Plastic Hearts.
This is why you're kind of becoming disillusioned with music, my friend.
Why?
Delete all of your music apps. I'll send you a playlist.
I think you would like the new not all of them, but like some of the covers she does, and when she does with the Stevie Nicks mix, it's pretty sweet.
I like Stevie Nicks.
I'll show it to you.
You know
Yeah,
Bob
so like
Dylan.
Alfred Molina's coming back. That's fucking nuts.
Yeah, Alfred Molina, big
Favorite
Al.
Spider-Man villain? Doc Ock.
Yeah, no, he's
Spider-Man too.
still considered to be the best, probably in live action, right? Maybe Vulture, Michael Keaton's Vulture, gives him a run for his money. I'd love to see that standoff.
I mean, it's all but confirmed now, Spider-Verse, so we're going to get everybody. I kind of wish, and in this age, obviously, it's hard to keep shit like this under wraps, but
It's impossible.
I'm still hoping there's going to be a few more surprises, and I think they have a couple things up their sleeves, but at this point, I know
Shaq is Kazam.
John Watts will be directing this one too, I believe.
Oh, man.
I hope he knows what he's getting into, and Feige. I hope they didn't bite off more than they can chew, because this movie's going to be fucking packed, and I think it has the potential to be something that's just a massive disappointment.
Do you think this movie goes 2 movies?
Well, maybe it does lead into another movie. That's the big complaint with this is let Tom Holland finish his trilogy.
Well, here's the
All
thing.
these characters are pretty much developed already, so it's not like we're going to need I'm this Spider-Man from this, and we know it as the audience. So I don't think they have to spend too much.
That gets so confusing.
No, so what happened?
That's the type of development you need to do here. Is you need to just make it make sense.
Well, it's made for fans of Spider-Man. This is for something comes out like Tom Holland's in a sticky situation. Out of nowhere, another web comes, and then he takes his mask off, and it's Tobey Maguire, and the whole fucking crowd goes crazy. While the person who never seen any Spider-Man's like, "Oh, what's everyone cheering for? I don't like him. He's not a good actor." It's like, "Oh no, he's the original Spider-Man."
Well, so you think it's going to be awesome?
And
I think it has the potential to be I think it has the potential to be a giant disappointment or just fucking awesome. And I don't think it's going to be anywhere in between, because there is a lot coming in there. But I think they have the benefit of us knowing these characters and making it for the fans, where you could focus on Tom. You don't have to focus too much on the outside. I think just a little from the characters that we love and know from the other movies, it will be enough for a lot of people.
Ted, what do you think? You think this is going to work?
Well, in the animated series Amazing Spider-Man, there's an episode where Peter Parker is battling Kingpin, and Kingpin had just made a team with the Reptile, Electrode. I forget the names. I forget the names.
Show me
Doc
Electrode.
Doc Ock.
Doc Ock. Yeah, that's correct.
And
well, that's the thing. They can do like Sinister Six here.
yeah, and Peter Parker can't handle it.
Oh, fuck. Charlie Cox, too.
Yeah, Charlie Cox.
I didn't even write that down.
See, that's where you get into the territory of, once again, people are familiar with Daredevil, but how does he make his way into this story? And it's also rumored that Kraven is going to be in this story. But including all those villains, that may be what the story is, a kind of a Sinister Six situation where he is just getting the shit kicked out of him.
Yeah, and Doctor Strange is set to appear, so I guess that's what's going to tie everything together.
That's this is the third multiverse movie they're doing.
Well, he makes it possible, doesn't he?
He's just going to fuck up everything, Doctor Strange.
You think it is Doctor Strange who opens up all like the portals to these different movies?
He's going to fuck up WandaVision. He's going to probably do something with the Fantastic Four. He might do something that leads into the X-Men.
I forget who it is, but in the episode, there's a lady, and she's the one that opens up the portals to let these Spider-Men come into Peter Parker's universe. So maybe he plays that kind of role. I forget who she is.
The comic that it's based off of, they start with Peter Parker, and it's his story, and then he dies at the end, which does happen in the movie universe. So
I just don't see the point in having Kirsten Dunst in it and Emma Stone. Like, why have them
I don't
in
think
here?
they're going to have major roles. It will be scenes where it's when we go to that Garfield universe, maybe they're doing something from that original movie.
Could be Spider-Gwen, too, for Emma Stone, because Gwen Stacy is dead.
Right, but they can go to a point in the universe where she isn't dead. No one's dead in these fucking movies.
Because Doc Ock is dead, too.
Yeah. Well, they can argue that he was sent to the Red Skull planet, right? He had Red Skull's planet.
He drowned, didn't he? After holding the sun in his...
Yeah, but the sun, I guess, maybe exploded and transported him as like into a wormhole.
I tell you what, the week leading up to this movie,
physics.
I'm going to have a fucking blast watching all the Spider-Mans.
Yeah, that will be fun.
It's a lot, though. I think it's just Sony maybe just blowing their load. And it's like, here, Feige, everyone talks about how great you are. Do something with all these characters.
Yeah.
Or it's like, hey, Batman's doing this with Flashpoint, so
Yeah, fucking Warner Brothers, man.
we need to do it and put it out first, so everyone thinks they copied us.
They're always behind the curve on everything, man. The way that Marvel's just been ahead of the game with them.
I bet you people listening to this have completely forgot that Michael Keaton's Batman is going to be in Flashpoint.
The way they price is right, DC, is so funny, man. Every time they announce something, they're like, Superman? Well, how about Superman Plus?
It's saying a joke.
Can you do that?
And Marvel repeating it louder.
Right.
Well, in this instance.
Yeah. Screaming it.
The MCU versus DCU is Marvel saying a hilarious joke to everyone and you telling it to your friends later on and not remembering the words.
Right, yeah. So that's exciting. I mean, there's a lot of Spider-Man to go around in this movie, so I'm sure all fans of the 3 different iterations of this live-action character will be excited. News about a show that fans aren't so excited about. Well, the hardcore fans that I follow on Twitter was the House of the Dragon casting news, switching over to Warner Brothers and HBO. Matt Smith has been confirmed as Daemon Targaryen, and he was King Viserys' brother. So he plays a major role in kind of influencing her.
Yo,
to,
we got the Viserys casting.
Who is Viserys again? Just some random?
No, he was the guy from The Outsider.
Oh, okay, right.
Yeah.
Good casting.
Yeah, Daemon Targaryen.
I mean, Olivia Cooke is the casting that stands out for me as Hightower, Allison Hightower. I was about to call her Allison. He always does that, man. I always get a kick out of that.
Yeah.
Samuel.
Yeah, Daemon Targaryen, he's a great character because he's such a great warrior, dragon rider. Rhaenyra is a dragon rider too. So, but Allison Hightower is probably what I assume will be like the crux of the political maneuvering of
schemer.
the show. Yes, and
What an actress to get. Olivia Cooke has become one of my favorites. I recently watched Thoroughbreds, and she blew me away in that movie. She was also fantastic. Recently, I saw The Sound of Metal. She's great, man. Talk about someone to take up the mantle as like the Varys or the Littlefinger or the Tyrion of the show.
This leads me to believe, though, that it's going to be a little bit before. Like, they're going to build into the Dance of Dragons a lot.
Yeah.
Because she's very young. I'm not sure. I know Allison Hightower is the second wife, but by the time shit's going down, Aegon is pretty grown.
Right.
So
will there be a time jump? There has to be.
Unless they follow the actual ages now. I know they age everyone up in Game of Thrones.
Well, Olivia Cooke is young.
Yeah, she's 27.
I think she's old enough to be a mom in the Game of Thrones world.
Maybe she had Aegon at like 14, 15.
That may add up just with the actual timeline.
Okay. I'm not. Yeah, I haven't read Princess and the Frog. I haven't read that novella in a while, so I don't really know too much about like the ages and what the character's supposed to be, but I think from what I remember, that character should be the Cersei type maneuvering Littlefinger because it is the Targaryen Civil War, and she kind of kicks it off by trying to play her hand.
Right. I think there's going to be way more politics than we had in the. It's going to be a nice mixture because not only is it going to be way more political maneuvering, but there are dragons there. That the dragons there's 3 or 4 at this time period, right? That they still have. So, and Balerion the Black Dread, like we mentioned, he's still there. If those rumors are true about the budget for the first show that they were developing, the Long Night Show, whatever the fuck they were calling it, then I'm sure we're going to get dragons right off the bat. I wouldn't even be surprised if the opening scene of this show is just a fucking dragon flying off and one of the kings or the princesses steps off.
And Matt Smith is
a terrific actor.
So I think
the fuck.
So I like the casting too. You have a pretty well established name. Maybe not a household for us. We know Matt Smith because he's in a lot of nerdy shit and even like more prestige series and other things. He was supposed to be in Rise of Skywalker. That never happened.
No. Thank God for him, right?
But I don't know too much about Olivia Cooke or Emma Darcy, so I'm interested to see them get a avenue.
Olivia Cooke was the girlfriend in Ready Player One.
Okay, gotcha.
She is a very
looks familiar,
good actress. She is so good in Thoroughbreds. Ted, House of the Dragon, what do you think?
I'm excited for Game of Thrones again.
All right, let's move on here.
I don't want to get too much into it without spoiling. Even though the story's been out, I think it's something where I guess you can know where it's going just by Targaryen Civil War. That's what the show is based on, and that's how they're marketing it. I feel like they can dive deeper because it was a novella and explore so many other things within this period of time. And I've seen like some articles, it's like, and some tweets, it's like, oh, set 300 years in the past. That's not true.
Yeah, it's like 180 years.
So at first I thought, oh, is he playing Aegon? Like, what are they doing here? But I'm like, no, this is going to be this Civil War. So I don't know.
Yeah, it's what they have here is an opportunity to tell a new story. I mean, without messing up the first one they told, because they already did that. But you don't have to worry about connecting things. You don't have to worry about canon. And it is a very detailed story through the novella. and through just Wikipedia posts. I mean, I've read through the Wikipedia post for the Dance of Dragons a couple of times, and it is very complex as the original Game of Thrones, if not more. I don't know how this man finds time for this. Maybe he should actually focus on Winds of Winter. But
it is like they're going to be.
I hope it's good so that our views,
Yeah. Olivia Cooke and Darcy are going to be the two. I mean, the novella is the Princess and the Queen, and that's who they're playing, the Princess and the Queen. So I think from what you said about Olivia Cooke and from what I've been reading about both of these actresses, I think that
no, she's gonna rip it if it's well written.
So,
if it's up to the standard of Game of Thrones, she belongs with that echelon of actor from the original series. Definitely,
okay, awesome. So
she'll
excited.
be able to carry it. And Darcy, I'm not as familiar with, but they've done such a fantastic job of casting their shows over the years. HBO, so
I really hope this is something where first episode people are like, it kind of reminds people.
We're already up to this stage.
It's so fresh in people's heads, season 8, and no one could talk about Game of Thrones. Like it's like a block. It's the wall that blocks you from remembering how great the show was before season 8. So I hope this show kind of tears down that wall.
How many fucking references are you gonna make?
I don't know.
If you could tie this in with the Pink Floyd reference, I'd be very impressed. Stop listening to Miley Cyrus.
And like people like, oh yeah, I fucking love this shit. Like with Star Wars, like even like if you didn't like the prequels, but you're like,
they're already in a situation.
You see Revenge of the Sith, like, wait, I fucking love this shit.
They have the Force Awakens themselves already. It's like the first 4 seasons were the original trilogy, the last 4 seasons were the prequels, and now they need to kind of redeem Star Wars in the eyes, Game of Thrones in the eyes of their fans. It's a tall task, and you would think that this is just kind of a shoo-in, right? Coming off of season 8, we're going to announce this spinoff. We're going to announce this spinoff. We have the biggest show in the world. Now there's a lot of pressure on the show. There's pressure on these writers and these directors to surpass what came before it. So before we get to fan questions, we'll talk about one more story here. We have Christopher Nolan and Denis Villeneuve, 2 of the biggest directors working today. 2 directors that have had strong relationships with Warner Brothers, coming out and absolutely dumping on Warner Brothers' plans to release their movies on streaming simultaneously while in theaters throughout 2021. And Nolan was way more harsh than Villeneuve was. And that was interesting because Nolan does have a long relationship and successful relationship with Warner Brothers, where he straight up just called HBO Max the worst streaming service.
Which is a flat-out lie. That's going to hurt your argument when you say the objective best streaming service is the worst. But other than that, I mean,
I guess more towards just what they're going to do.
Yes, right.
That he's like, hey, the quality of the films they have on there are great, but
this is tough because I'm always director over studio on a lot of issues, right? Because
yeah, and Villeneuve was way more eloquent.
It's like players over owners, directors over studios. He was very harsh, and it's just such an unprecedented time, and I think a lot of filmmakers are seeing the future of possible cinema, and they are not liking it at all. And what's the alternative right now?
You tell me if you're Nolan and you have a movie coming out.
And Warner Brothers, to their credit, have given him ample opportunity and ample money to make whatever he's wanted in the past.
But what is your point?
I'm saying, is he salty?
Here.
Can you come up?
Like, is he salty? Does he have no movies coming out?
No, I think his comments were more about that they're betraying the filmmakers.
Well, Tenet was the litmus
filmmakers made
test.
These movies for this big screen, and now Warner Brothers is releasing them on streaming. He thinks that they're just kind of undercutting and betraying them.
No, they are.
They want to get the movies out. Can you blame them? It's their company.
Well, that's the thing. It's I think economically, from an economic standpoint, once again, I don't know what the fuck is going on with this vaccine, and we have the dumbest people in the world running this country. So I don't know how quickly this country is going to be vaccinated and back to running at 100%. But
you getting the vaccine, Ted?
I don't know.
So
I'm not getting it off the jump. I'm waiting at least a year probably to get it.
You're like the person that doesn't buy the next gen system. You're gonna wait for all the bugs to be to be patched.
I'm gonna see who gets the worst side effect.
I'll be patient here. I don't give a fuck at this point.
I think with HBO, they have an opportunity now to maybe lose some money with their strategy of releasing these movies on streaming, but in the long term, bring in more subscribers to your service. That hasn't really been too accessible to a lot of people because they're not on Roku and Fire Stick. They should probably take care of that before 2021 comes around.
Yeah.
But I don't know what the right decision here is. Villeneuve made the point that when everything is back to normal, people will flock back to the theaters. Film lovers will never abandon the theaters, and I think to some extent,
So re-release it then.
that is true. Right? And these things that they have to make money. The artists are making them for the big screen. There's no right answer here. There really isn't.
I think Villeneuve was more eloquent in his thoughts. He had his own op-ed for Variety, I think. So he had an opportunity to really go into it. But I think the big takeaway, all the headlines and quote grabs were that it's like they're potentially killing Dune. Because if Dune doesn't succeed monetarily, then they might not get money to make a second film, I guess, is what he was alluding to.
Right.
I wonder if maybe they
Which,
think
if
that
you
they
want me to
lost
get,
already on
if you
Dune.
want me to get on your side wholeheartedly and fucking bash HBO Max until oblivion, it's the potential of not getting end to Dune. I haven't even seen the movie yet.
He came out and said, "This is my best movie ever." By far. That's what he said in the article.
Mank, when he was finished with Citizen Kane.
I think he's trying. It's not even coming from an arrogant place. He's trying to say, "Hey, this deserves to be made on the big screen." It's not only my film; it's all the people that worked on this film. But like I said, it's such a we don't have an answer here. And like you said, I'm usually pro player, pro artist, pro director over the.
I think they took the loss already, and they're just
Right,
getting
that's the
movie
thing.
out.
The amount of losses that they've taken, who really knows already?
Hypothetically, right?
I mean, this is a movie that's supposed to be out in a few weeks.
Dr. Fauci said that,
He's going to be in Spider-Man 3.
yes, he's playing, yeah. He said that there should be packed stadiums by the fall. This movie is set to release in the fall. If that's the case, and best case scenario that happens, is Warner Brothers still going to be like, oh no, we're still going to leave it on HBO Max?
Fuck no.
Yeah, no chance.
No, I don't think so. And I don't think it's like they have to be men and women of their word. They're a fucking corporation. They could do whatever they want, right? If you have packed theaters by the time you have Dune coming out and you've built so much hype to it.
Why not?
And you give the critics an early embargo lift. They could be like, you better get your ass to a theater if you want to see Dune. So yeah, no way. I think packed stadiums by the fall.
That's what he said.
Jesus Christ, another year.
Isn't the vaccine coming out next week from New
Can
York?
you just lie to us,
Or the
Fauci?
States?
Well, New York City just closed down for next week.
Yeah, all indoor
Oh no, after
dining.
this week,
What
yeah.
a joke that is.
Go on. I want to see the.
Well, it is ridiculous.
You just got so.
I'm not coming out like that on here.
It's ridiculous in a sense that, like,
Make a choice. Do I want to go out or not? That's it. It's stay inside if you don't want to come outside.
Well, no,
Stop shutting shit down.
I agree. I disagree because
No.
we've
People are gonna party regardless. There's no.
yeah, and we're never gonna get over. All right, whatever. That's not the conversation
Guys,
we're
come
having.
on.
You're making it
But-
worse. Actually, I think they're making it worse.
Well, I'm saying
Aaron, the Nerd Soup Monkey, and Teddy from Nerd Soup, thank you for joining me. This is
what I'm
Who am I,
saying is
Don
that
Lemon?
I don't get why it's like, oh, you can't have indoor seating, and all these restaurants are making literal outdoor
Indoor seating.
indoor seating. But that's okay. I don't understand it.
You tell me a mom and pop show, a mom and pop hardware store has to shut down, but there can be 100 people in Home Depot. What fucking sense does that make? You're ruining businesses. You're ruining people's lives. It's insane. It's horrible.
Sounds like someone might run for president.
Are you running for office?
No,
I wouldn't vote for you.
I'd
Really?
vote for him.
Of course you would. Yeah, you just go there and you.
if you
getting
see
a
my name on the
cabinet
ballot, you're
position,
not you're not hitting it off.
I don't think. What position is Ted going to occupy in which he has a cabinet?
Oh, I'm the shadow. I'm the shadow ruler.
I'll be the comptroller.
You're going to be Palpatine of the local Parks and Rec.
Can we do that? Can we, like, one of us? Well, Teddy.
Mold someone into a politician.
I'll go for
No, let's just make
I'll go for comptroller.
Let's find a position like comptroller of our county and just, like, try to get Teddy elected. I think that would be fucking amazing.
I don't want to spend that much time on something for just to get a laugh out of it.
It's a
With
good
the
laugh.
laugh-
That'd be a
I'll-
good
I'll
laugh.
be exhausted by then.
Teddy, like, in the political, like,
We would not be good in the political space. I actually think I would because I am very ruthless, but yet
you're
honorable.
going to try to
and
house
loyal.
the cards the local county government.
No, I would.
town hall.
I would go big.
Where did this spiral from? This conversation.
It spiraled from you saying that COVID is a hoax.
I didn't say it was a
Where's
hoax.
the vaccine for cancer?
I never said it was a hoax. I'm just saying
that's the best.
people should be able to choose.
Let's go to fan questions here.
What did that laugh just sound like? What did Aaron's laugh just sound like?
If I would
What character is that?
acid, mushrooms, or stay in Teddy's mind for 24 hours, I would take Teddy's mind.
It's stressful. Don't come in my mind.
That's for the fan to decide.
Yay! People you call up to the show, you better be ready. That's what you're supposed to do. Sitting there arguing and you're trying to spell your name and all of this other stuff. It's not your show, it's my show. I'm giving you the opportunity to speak your mind. Don't call up here unless you got something to say.
This question here from Pan Nerdia at Pan Nerdia. Hypothetical. Always love these. A live-action Dragon Ball Z cinematic universe is announced by Disney. No, just kidding. Who's your dream director and who's playing the one and only Goku?
Dragon Ball Z.
Well, we were talking about this. We always talk about, me and my anime friends, about how you would do a live-action Dragon Ball Z.
Can you?
Most people seem to think that you can't. I mean, they go back to the Fox debacle.
I think it turned into like an Avatar.
Well, they didn't even try with that.
No, it's bad. I mean, it just spits on the lore.
A live-action Dragon Ball would probably be the better route because, if I recall correctly, it's not as insane.
Less fighting.
As the Dragon Ball Z.
No, you can't do Dragon Ball.
Why not?
Dragon Ball's fine. You gotta do Dragon Ball Z. That's the crew.
That's too much.
That's
though,
Goku.
Man.
You get Piccolo. No, I think this day and age, what was the movie that I wanted to reference? Oh, Man of Steel. I think the fighting style in Man of Steel, you can just translate that to Dragon Ball Z. The budget needs to be...
Bro, honestly, that's a great comparison.
Massive.
How they fought with those camera shots.
Yeah, they're flying around. Superman was fighting with some speed. Even Thanos, they gave Thanos fast punches. I think that you can find a way to bring... I mean, it has to... There are certain things that you can't adapt when it comes to Dragon Ball Z. The hair just make it spiky. Yeah. You don't have to make it sticking out in the air and unrealistic.
I don't like this visual. I don't like the visual.
Yeah, I can't picture a live-action Dragon Ball Z.
No, but you adapt it in a way where it isn't... Look, you don't have to mimic the cartoon.
It looks too fake.
That's the thing. You make it realistic. You ground it in a realistic universe.
I don't want to ground it.
You dirty it up.
You're talking like you want this.
I'd like to see it done. I think we'll get it in like 20, 30 years when the generation of filmmakers, the people that start making films are the kids that grew up on anime.
All right, yeah, I guess.
We haven't seen that generation yet. I mean, some of the younger filmmakers, yes, but I think some of the kids who become the next storytellers of the next generation, maybe we'll see it. It's not. There are other animes that I would adapt before this.
Oh God, am I gonna be the fucking 50-year-old in the movie watching Dragon Ball Z?
Yeah, that's gonna be.
That's gonna be
yeah,
me.
we're all gonna be in our 50s and 60s saying,
God,
we grew up with this.
Where's Raditz?
Well, it's like I was okay with Detective Pikachu, but I wouldn't like seeing a live action Pokemon, like something like that.
Sick.
Live action Pokemon, because then you get into, is this animal cruelty? And then you have to start having those conversations. Live action Pokemon is just weird. You know?
What do you mean?
Because you're having these little animals that are clearly
they want to
like
fight.
Sentient.
They want to fight.
That's always the thing that they're signing up for too. Yeah, they want to fight, or are they being manipulated?
They can just not fight. They can just not obey the master.
Yeah, well, then they get sent back into the fucking wild, or they're homeless.
Well, that's where they belong, right?
You know how many abandoned Pikachus there are out there?
They're common.
Director for Dragon Ball Z.
Greta Gerwig.
Taika Waititi.
Yes. Yes, perfect choice. Oh, I would want it all done by a Japanese cast and director.
Me too.
So,
yeah.
But Taika Waititi would be cool if they kind of did an American version. I think the anime that has the most potential would be Full Metal Alchemist. I think that would be a great live action TV series.
They made him
Death
My Hero.
Note sucked, right?
Oh yeah, that's fucking awful. That's another one that would be a great HBO limited series. Doesn't really work as a movie. Too much story. This question here from Keith at Witsy1. What Christmas movie special do you think is overrated?
Pretty much every Christmas special.
Christmas Chronicles.
People, I don't think that's adored.
Which one?
Christmas Chronicles.
Everyone loves that. I thought that was like beloved.
I've never heard of it.
Really? Polar Express I hate too.
Oh,
that's
you calling me the Grinch?
Polar Express.
You also
is
don't like Elf, right?
I like Elf.
You think it's overrated?
I feel like a lot of Christmas movies are overrated by people because it's the holiday spirit. They want to like it.
Well, that's why I like Elf, because Elf is just a funny premise.
I've just seen it a million times. I think I'm just getting sick of it.
Well, that's the ultimate Christmas break in high school. The last day of school before Christmas break, the teacher throws on Elf.
Yep.
What's that one that you love? The one that's always played on TV?
Oh, Christmas Story.
That's what. Yeah, that one is the worst. The story behind that is actually hilarious. I think, what was it, the network that used to run it all the time?
USA, I think?
Yeah.
TBS?
And I don't know if it was Ted Turner or one of the big executives that was behind it, where That's how that movie kind of gained cult status, where because another network had A Wonderful Life, so he wanted his network to have their traditional Christmas movie, so they would just fucking spam it on everyone's TV, and then everyone decided that it was a good movie. I think that is the perfect example of overrated.
It's not. I mean,
I don't know. A lot of Christmas movies just suck, you know? So I don't think any of them are terribly overrated.
Like even the
Like Die Hard is...
fuck
I would say that's a solid Christmas movie.
Harry Potter's Christmas, isn't it?
Fellowship of the Ring,
Goodfellas.
Iron Man 3,
Mm-hmm.
Fat Santa, Fat Man. I want to see that, actually.
Yeah, I don't know. I should have watched that already.
What's your go-to Christmas movie?
Even like the Peanuts movies. I don't give a shit.
Jim Carrey's Grinch.
Santa Claus. I was at a bar last weekend and they had it. It was like a pop-up Christmas bar and they had the Grinch playing.
Yeah, that movie is a fucking nightmare. In a good way.
Did you see the live action play?
Of what?
The Grinch? They did like a play for NBC.
Only clips. Did not look great.
Oh, Aaron, we didn't mention in the news break 4 more seasons of Sunny.
Oh yeah, that was announced also.
It's
4 more
fantastic.
years.
18 seasons, dude. That's insane.
Oh yeah, they're just gonna go until.
Danny dies?
Oh, don't even bring that up. That's awful.
This question here from Nick
They
D.
would make that so funny, bro, if he died. I'm sure they would riff on that.
Yeah, but I don't want to live in a world without Danny DeVito.
No, neither.
This question here from Nick D. Sorry about that, Nick. Interrupted. At the film RX, where do you think Harden should be traded to?
Knicks.
Lakers.
Oh God,
I think
know.
the best scenario for him would be to swap Simmons and Harden and see what they can do with Harden and Embiid.
I would never do that. Ben Simmons has so much potential.
Bro, I saw a video
Ben
on...
Simmons can't even shoot a free throw.
I know, but what if he?
They're like,
what if he
what
one
if he
day
does?
learns how to?
It's not even that he can't shoot. That's the thing. It's like oh, Luka can't really shoot, but he can get better, you know? Because Luka's like 31 from 3, but he takes 9 a game. You could see that there's improvement there. It's not even that Ben Simmons can't shoot. He doesn't shoot.
Yeah.
He doesn't shoot ever.
I think he shot 3 threes since he's been in the league, probably.
And I can like Rondo. They always compare. Oh, he's just a 6'10" Rondo, but Rondo
had a Jimmy.
Rondo would step back on you. Rondo could hit a 3 a game, and that was enough. Ben Simmons, that's a weird case. It is a truly weird case. So I'd swap Simmons and because I don't think
is he
that's
even
ever
a good like general on the floor? Like, is he a good point guard?
Yes, he's a
Is
fantastic
he?
point guard. Yeah. He's one of the best playmakers in the NBA. He's playing the wrong position. He should be playing power forward. That would be the ideal situation, right? But Houston wants a star for Harden, so trade him for Kyrie just to piss off Kyrie. This question here from Nelly at Cullen Hall. What is everyone's worst hot take? Stop playing with that.
Never really had a hot take that I know of. Have I?
You probably have 10 an episode.
No, I don't.
Which
What's the hot take you always say?
You have
one?
some bad hot takes about like the Killers being more influential
Yeah.
than the Beatles.
I'm fucking joking, obviously.
The truth comes out when you're
Yeah,
drunk.
let me see your playlist.
Oh no, it's mostly Killers. I'm not gonna deny that.
He was stone cold sober. when he said
Influential
that.
for me, yes. I had one today. I said Batman or Prep Time.
Over Thanos.
Yeah,
Yeah, I saw that.
that's my favorite thing ever. It's like, I mean, it's written that he could beat the whole Justice League, so it's like
That is one of all the years that I spent on comicvine.com, where they would always just match up fictional characters. Every time Batman was in a scenario with another character, the first question would be, with prep? Question mark? Does Batman have prep?
What was that hot take I tweeted about the anime? That was a joke. but
Oh, that was
I got roasted on
bad
Twitter for
tweet.
it.
It was Dragon Ball Z is better than Full Metal Alchemist.
Yeah.
Very random comparison. Like the DBZ comparison would be
Pokemon?
not Full Metal
Indigo
Alchemist,
League?
because Full Metal Alchemist is such a complete story. DBZ is, it's like Star Wars. There's so many fucking different DBZs, so it's hard to compare them. But yeah, now you can you first of all, I hope
Don't
you guys
start.
are listening. Listen to Dune.
Okay.
Turn off John Q, because no one cares about you crying in the middle of John. Q.
I was scrolling
You were scrolling.
I'm just saying, I'm scrolling through the channels. I stopped on John Q, and it was the scene where he's talking to his
We
son.
only got
and I
16
cried.
episodes of Attack, so you better get on
This
it.
might be the funniest meme I've ever seen.
This question here from Dahlia at Cookies and Milk. Don't be shy. Name a conspiracy theory each of you guys low-key believe in. This is going to be a great Teddy question.
9/11.
Like, you swear up and down it's got...
What are you spitting up at?
You just said it so fast and with such confidence.
I wasn't joking about it. I really think that was an inside job, and if you don't think so, you're an idiot.
You're not joking.
It's an inside job. The government did it on purpose.
For what reason?
Patriotic.
Do you really think that this country was running low on patriotism?
Yeah, it could have been.
They're like, you
We're
know
low
what?
right now,
Cheney
waiting
and
for the
Bush
next
were in the
war to
Oval Office like, this country is not nationalistic enough. We're going to need to do something huge.
I think I still have. I think we did a conspiracy theory podcast.
Yes, we did.
And I think I still have the notes on my 9/11 facts.
You know, the one that I get closest... I mean, JFK conspiracy is not even a conspiracy
No,
at this
it's not.
point.
Yeah.
Someone took the man's head off. I mean, it's on film. The moon landing is the one that I flirt with the most. Where I'm like... were we able to pull that off in the late 60s?
I think we doofed the Russians.
Did that boy
We got 'em.
Stanley...
Yeah, I
Did
think
we just pull a fast one on the world? Well, like, guess what? We're on the moon, bitches.
I think the JFK conspiracy is one I 100% believe. I believe everything I've ever heard on Ancient Aliens.
Oh, aliens built the pyramids too.
Yeah, I 100% believe that.
Well, another JFK conspiracy that I believe is the mafia helping him in Illinois. That's very believable.
Well, that was kind of shown in
Any Buffalo
Irishman.
Right.
conspiracies?
Which one?
Buffa. Hoffa. Jimmy Hoffa.
Jimmy
yeah, I mean,
Buffett.
there's been so many.
It's
Yeah,
confirmed, right,
Jiffy.
that the mob killed him?
I don't think it's confirmed. I think it's still pretty much up in the air.
But it's confirmed.
Yeah, I mean, The Irishman is 100% accurate.
Yeah.
So, what are some of the other major conspiracies?
Look it up.
I think we know.
Oh,
it.
aliens.
Yeah, I
That's
know
another
alien.
one area.
Yeah. I know they're hiding it.
They've been here.
Well, they came out this year and they were like,
Well,
we
it's
have
the
UFO
Israeli
footage.
whatever security of aliens. I think that's his
Ah.
official position.
Right.
He said that it's like, yeah, we've been in contact by the Federation.
Illuminati.
That's bullshit. That's just him being an asshole. Our NASA dropped.
That's what they want. They want you to think he's being an asshole. He's probably sick of the thing and sick of hiding it and wants to let us know.
Federation. They sound like they're fucking.
Yeah.
They're doing the arrival right now. Look at that.
You know what I think with aliens? That like we're their experiment and they come like once a month to check on us.
Mm-hmm.
The pyramid thing. They came, helped us build the pyramids,
Yeah. Got society going.
introduced the internet. What is the internet, honestly, right? This question
I
here
still don't know
from
how I can someone can film something and then show up on my TV.
Watch Willy Wonka. They explain it in detail.
Does
This
it?
question here from I don't know. Ted's like, really? I'm gonna rent that tonight.
Or like speak into a phone and I can hear. It doesn't make sense to me.
At Nothing Matter. What are your top 5 favorite Nintendo games?
Ooh, that's a good question. Any Nintendo or 64? We're thinking.
Any Nintendo, all the way back to the playing cards.
Wow, they have playing cards.
That's how they started. Nintendo was founded as a playing card company. It's been around since the late 19th century.
You're really good at bullshitting. You know that. Now I gotta look it up.
Aaron, you got your top 5 games? Because everything I say, Ted's got to verify it. Like on the human Wikipedia.
Well, I haven't owned a Nintendo since '64, so I'll just go with that. My
Never
favorite.
had a
Fair enough,
GameCube?
it's a Nintendo.
What?
Never had a GameCube.
No, my parents loved me. I think I've said this already.
Isn't Wii Nintendo?
Yes.
Never had a Wii.
No.
You're weird.
How am I weird?
Yeah, the GameCube, missing out on
I had
the
a
GameCube
360.
is strange.
I had an
What did you-
Xbox.
All right, I got mine. When you done with yours?
What'd you play on it?
Weird.
Madden?
Yeah. Wii bowling.
I'll give you my 5. It was GoldenEye. I think was the best 007 game.
Doesn't hold up, but I defend it like it's my child.
Well, that's I loved it when I was a
100%.
kid.
It's my fucked up kid.
Smash, obviously. Mario Tennis. I fucking loved Mario Tennis.
Underrated.
Um,
It's great on the Switch.
it is. I do play this at Nash's, so I'll throw it in there. The GameCube, Mario Baseball.
You fucking son of a bitch.
I love Mario Baseball. Are you
Yeah,
kidding
but
me?
you just shit on the GameCube. Oh, my parents love me. Now you're throwing the GameCube game.
Oh,
in
they
your
have
Top
one-
5 games.
It's ridiculous.
And let's go with
If you don't say it, I swear to God.
Yeah, I mean, what the fuck?
WWF versus NWO.
God.
Or WCW versus ECW.
I still think to this day, Super Smash Brothers on N64 and Melee is considered the better one. I think that's just the pinnacle of video game making. So that would be in
100%.
my top 5. The 2 Banjo-Kazooies, Banjo-Kazooie, Banjo-Tooie. I loved Mario Odyssey, so I'll throw Mario Odyssey in there as well. And what else do we have for Nintendo games? Donkey Kong 64. No Zelda for me because I could never beat it. So I respect the hell out of Zelda. Could be the GOAT game still to this day. But Ted, your top 5.
I got Luigi's Mansion.
Ooh, that's a fucking classic. Yeah, you're scoffing at it because he didn't have a GameCube. But that boy Luigi,
he was
once
sucking.
he got his game.
Kidding?
What was he doing?
Sucking boo. So Luigi's Mansion, Super Smash, obviously, Mario 64, Zelda, and I'm torn on the last one because there's Mario Party 2.
Oh, the Mario parties are fun. That's. I'll throw them all in there.
Mario Party 2 is one with the cowboy hat, right? He's wearing a cowboy hat.
I think so.
Yeah, you can't fuck with Nintendo, bro. They've been around for a minute.
Ooh, this is another good question here from Nick D. We'll take this one final question. At the Film RX, what do you find yourself rewatching first? Game of Thrones seasons 1 through 8, or Star Wars episodes 1 through 9?
Probably Thrones.
Well, Star Wars will be the easier watch because it's shorter.
Yeah.
And I think it is an easier pill to swallow because you'll start with the prequels and be like, this is not so great, but it ends well. And then you get to the good ones. And then Force Awakens is okay, and then they suck again. But you can watch Mando. With Game of Thrones, I do want to rewatch them. I want to get the 4K box set and then rewatch them that way.
That's the thing, though. With Star Wars over Game of Thrones, you're getting a better watch in Game of Thrones. I feel like you're dragging more in Star Wars.
Way more quality.
Yeah. I mean,
every day I want to tweet Star Wars. You have 2 good movies in 9 tries.
Yeah.
I'm about to tweet that right now.
You nerds.
Stop complaining about this fucking mediocre franchise.
You're being held alive by last ditch effort in Mando.
Yeah, no, seriously. It's they've been hanging on to Empire for like 45 years.
You can only hang on for 4, 5, and 6 for so long.
Well, I really wanted to. I rewatched seasons, but not the whole thing start to finish yet. But I think I was waiting to read, but Winds of Winter never came out, so I wanted to read up to reread, finish that, and then kind of go back and see where they went besides the book, and maybe if some of the things they got from the book, just for shits and gigs. But I'll probably rewatch it sometime.
Can you guys watch Thrones like I would watch The Office or something? Can you guys just put it on and just watch it?
I used to pop on
I
used to pop on just random episodes all the time.
Yeah, maybe easier to do that now.
Come home drunk from the bar, put on Winds of Winter.
Thrones.
Come on, you kidding me?
Whenever I come home drunk, I'll always watch LeBron highlights. Just throw on YouTube and want to see.
What you could have
I
been?
remember every time in college, I would be in the basement of our dorm where you can study.
What I could have been.
Hopped up on Adderall, just studying, and then I would just always take a break and watch Mellow highlights.
Mellow
at fucking 5 a.m.
That man jab stop, man. You can't beat it.
That
Should you
playoff
foul
run
here?
was the best time.
No. Bang!
I love that. That's the funniest fucking commentary.
Is that the one when he hits three threes in a row?
Yeah.
It was the Easter game against the Bulls.
Or Mike Breen's asking, should they foul him? No. That's almost as good as I want Iguodala. So, do you see that? Have you seen that comment pop up in the replies of random tweets? I saw that the other
Spirit Bomb?
Yeah, the Spirit Bomb was good. But when all the Spider-Man was coming out, they were like, Andrew Garfield, Toby, I want Iguodala.
That's the last shot by Kellerman, right?
The Martians have the death beam pointed at Earth. All right, guys, that is the Nerd Soup podcast for this week. Thank you for joining.
Wait, it was Iguodala or who?
Steph Curry.
Oh, my God.
It's even worse. Thank you for joining us for this packed episode as I tried to get to
I
the
love
outro.
these sports debate shows because they try so hard to be look at Skip. He hated LeBron once, got clicks, and now it's his whole thing.
Yeah, and he's already warming up Luka to hate Luka.
Oh.
I love the tweet where it's Pesci being killed in Goodfellas. It's like, this is how Fox Sports is doing Skip once LeBron retires. That will be a sad day, but also a good day. And like we said, thank you guys for listening to this packed episode of the Nerd Soup podcast. An hour plus because we had a lot to talk about. And comment your thoughts because this is going up on the old tube. We forgot to mention, also listen on iTunes, Spotify, Google Podcasts, all those places. Aaron, Teddy, Bo Oliver, we are signing off.
I need a nap.
Comment from Teddy.
Well, I guess it's late enough where it would just be sleep, right?
Yeah, at this point, yeah, you could just try keep it going until till the AM.
Yeah, I took a nap at 9 p.m.
Took an 8 to 10 nap.
You guys do Mandalorian?
Well, would you look at that? It's finally over. Hey guys, Bo Oliver here for one final send-off. Now, before I beg you guys to like and share this video, I'd like to thank our very special Patreon pledgers. We are very proud of the community we've been able to build here at NerdSoup, and it would not have been possible without our Patreon supporters. You guys are the true MVPs of this channel. Everything I've said, you keep the fridge full, you keep the lights on. There aren't enough words to thank you guys, but we'll do it anyway. Thank you. And we have a few videos coming up that have been suggested to us by Patreon pledgers. My Hero Academia, Neon Genesis Evangelion, and Full Metal Alchemist will be reviewed by Marissa, and yours truly, and Castlevania, which will be reviewed by Marissa and Aaron. And if you'd like to consider donating to our Patreon page, you can visit patreon.com/nerdsoup and check out some of the rewards we offer to our listeners. And really, we'd like to thank everyone who takes the time out of their day to watch our videos. Patreon pledger or not, your support is what keeps us motivated to keep giving the world our opinions on movies and TV shows and video games and pop culture, even though no one asked for it. We're still here, we're still yapping, and we hope you continue to join us. I'm Bo Oliver, and I support this message.